Today we're going to count down our top 10 NPCs in Dark Souls.
2 rules! They must have dialogue and they can't be a boss. Let's get into it.
Oscar kicks off your entire journey through Lordran by freeing you from your cell in the Northern Undead Asylum.
Just before his death, he gives you your quest to venture forth to the Land of Lords to ring the Bell of Awakening. He even gives you the most useful item in the game, the Estus Flask.
There is unused dialogue indicating that Oscar was initially intended to be a recurring character throughout your journey.
He was even to become an antagonist at the end of the game, but alas, we'll never know what he was to do outside the asylum. Oh, LAURENTIUS, probably one of the kindest characters in the game.
Once LAURENTIUS became undead, he left the Great Swamp in pursuit of the Witch of Izalith in order to gain more knowledge in pyromancy.
You find him imprisoned by a man-eating butcher. If you free him, he gives you a pyromancy flame, which he later explains is literally a part of his own body. Seriously, what a nice guy!
If you buy any unique pyromancies from Quelana or the Chaos Servant Covenant, he will be amazed and ask you where you learned it.
Be wary though, because if you tell him where you got the spell, he would go to Blighttown in search of knowledge and meet his unfortunate hollowed fate.
A royal member of the VINHEIM Dragon School, Big Hat Logan created all the best sorceries in the game.
You free Logan from a cell in Sense Fortress while he was on his way to Duke's Archives in his quest for knowledge.
Once he arrives in Duke's Archives, he is captured and locked away again.
If you free him the second time, he'll finally make his way into Cease Library and become consumed by knowledge.
Logan eventually becomes so consumed that he rips off all his clothes in an attempt to become a dragon.
Man, stole my final move.
Giver of the Copper Coin and apparent ambassador for the Way of White, Petrus appears to be an all-around good guy.
I even went through my entire first playthrough thinking this, but it can't be further from the truth. At the end of his story, he even describes himself as a wolf in sheep's clothing.
Petrus is intent on killing the noble Rhea of THOROUND. He leaves her and her companions for dead in the catacombs.
Even if you save her from the catacombs, he'll kill her as she prays at the Sunlight Altar.
Petrus and Oswald are well aware of his dark side, and if you find his secret stash, you too will learn that he's associated with the Dark Wraiths.
A daughter of Chaos and the teacher of Solomon, the master pyromancer, Quelana proves herself to be a true badass in a tragic tale.
She fled from her family after her mother, the Witch of Izalith, tried to replicate the first flame, resulting in the Flame of Chaos.
As you can assume from the name, it couldn't be controlled, and it turned her family into deformed demons.
Her mission,
should you choose to accept it,
is to kill her family and free them from the Flame of Chaos.
HAWKEYE GOUGH is one of the 4 Knights of Gwyn and leads the Great Archers.
Their job was to shoot down dragons with a bow. You find him in the DLC content, locked on top of a tower in Ulasil.
Why he's locked up is unknown, but the eye holes of his mask are filled with tree resin, leading them to believe that he's blind.
Not that it matters though, because he's still capable of sniping down the dragon calamite for you to slay.
Also, need to give a shout out to that killer elbow drop.
The fair lady, like Quelana, is one of the daughters of the Witch of Izalith.
You meet her on the verge of death, and in her weak state, she mistakes you for her sister if you have the old witch's ring.
Her empathetic soul led her to sucking out the blight pus from the citizens of Blighttown, curing them of their ailment, but inflicting her with great illness.
Cherry on the cake? You just killed the last member she thought she had remaining of her family, and the one who was taking care of her.
Way to be a dick. Kaathe, like Frampt, is one of the few primordial serpents in the game.
He's the leader of the Dark Wraith Covenant. The enemy is so bad they had to flood the entire city of New Londo to quell them, and he's probably responsible for the destruction of Ulasil.
Despite being so evil, he does reveal to you that everything you learned so far in the game has been a lie.
Linking the flame won't grant you any power, but rather consume all of yours, just so the first flame can last a little longer.
He pushes you to defy this destiny, to usher in an age of dark, and become the Dark Lord. Solaire is everybody's favorite sunbro and one of the cheeriest characters in the game.
He's on a journey to become as grossly incandescent as the sun.
Not only is he the only NPC who can complete the Undead's journey, with the player's help of course, many also think he's the banished son of Gwyn, the god of war himself.
What more is there to say about Solaire that already hasn't been said? Sieglind is the daughter of Onion Bro Sigmire.
Her story is the most tragic one in the game. Her father has come to Lordran seeking adventure and excitement.
While on his adventure, his wife, Sieglind's mother, passes away, and Sieglind takes it upon herself to deliver her final words to her father.
She has to follow his footsteps through Lordran to find him.
She ends up captured in Duke's Archives by a crystal golem, but you, the player, save her. As she continues on her journey, she finds her father in Ash Lake.
She delivers her mother's final words to her father, and despair overtakes Sigmire. He loses all hope, and he turns hollow.
Sieglind is then forced to kill her own father.
Not only did she have to do all these difficult tasks, she had to do it as a human.
If she died on the journey, then there'd be no coming back to life.
Dear Father.
But that's just our opinion. Let us know what you think in the comments down below.
And if you like that, be sure to subscribe and check out our Dark Souls 3 video.
Just don't put it on my face, Kev. You know how I hate it when you do that.
We'll see.
Like, then people can't see me.
That's okay.
We don't need any of that, right? Like, come on.
I'll try my best.
You did it, didn't you?